Keto Crafter. I'm making 2 Crazy Ketos meat lasagna, but I'm going to show you how I do it so that, number one, my son really liked it, so hopefully he'll see this video and he can make it himself. Okay. There's a few things that I do differently. Number one, I don't make my own sauce because by the time that I buy everything to make my own sauce, I might as well just buy a jar. Normally I buy Rao's or Rouse or however else you pronounce it, but unfortunately Walmart did not have the particular flavor that I like to use, so there's that. So let me get my ricotta cheese open. Release the cheese. And as much as I hate to use just the off-brand of sauce, I am using the Great Value, and I kind of wish I hadn't picked it up because unfortunately this organic roasted garlic pasta sauce, unfortunately I didn't notice it. I was kind of rushed at the store. It was crowded and I wanted to get out of there. It does have some soybean oil and some cane sugar. It's further on down the line of ingredients, so I'm hoping that I don't have a reaction to it. It says may contain traces of milk, eggs, wheat, and soy. The milk and eggs is fine, but the wheat and soy I tend to have a problem with. So we'll see. All right. First thing I do is I put a little bit of sauce down in the bottom of my pan. And this is basically so the darn stuff doesn't stick and leave me a messy, well, you know what, I don't think there is a way to not have a mess to clean up when you're making any sort of Italian dish. I think it's in the rule book that all Italian food must be messy and must be a pain in the butt to clean up. So I'm just gonna put that in the bottom. Okay, now what I have here in this container that I am opening is about 1.5 pounds of ground beef that's been browned, and also 1 pound of mild Italian sausage. I use the Walmart brand. Johnsonville has a good brand, and I just like the way it gives just a little bit of flavor to everything. My egg over here. And what I'm going to do is get another bowl out because I don't have enough bowls. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I've got my meat already mixed up with my sauce, the rest of the sauce. So that's all ready to go. Now I'm going to mix my mixture of ricotta, and I'm just using the Walmart brand, and this is the whole milk ricotta because I want the fat. Okay, and now I'm going to crack 1 large egg. And because nothing ever has enough garlic for me, I am going to put in about that much garlic, which is I'm gonna put in about a teaspoon of minced garlic into that. And then I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. It's about a teaspoon and a half to 2 teaspoons. And that's 16 ounces of ricotta cheese. And I'm just going to mix this. Mix this up until it's combined real good. And then I'm also going to take, and I've got, in this bowl I have some mozzarella cheese, some grated Parmesan, some Asiago, and some Fontina cheese. It's also got just a little bit of grated provolone. I like blended cheeses. I bet that garlic and herb goat cheese would be good mixed in with this too, but I don't have any of that. And I've only got 1 package of my garlic and herb Orson cheese, and I'm saving that. So I'm just going to put just a handful of that cheese in there. I like to layer flavors, and I like to spread flavors around. And this stuff is so good anyway. It's just, I think my way is a little bit more simple. It's a little bit more budget friendly, I think. Okay. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay down some thin slice turkey. This is our noodles. And I have tried this with thin sliced Black Forest ham. I kind of like, I have to admit that other than Thanksgiving or whenever we have deep fried turkey, I'm just not really a turkey fan. But it works in this, and it doesn't even taste like turkey, so. But I didn't really, ironically enough, I wasn't that fond of the ham in this. I'm just going to cover the bottom of the pan. And you can get the turkey meat that is in like where the sliced meats is, or you can get it from the deli. We just bought a huge turkey breast and just used the meat slicer and sliced it up, put some in the freezer so we'd always have some. Okay. Now I'm going to put a layer of this meat. But I got to get my other spoon. And I'm just going to put that in there, spread it around. I am a huge fan of Italian food. I am not a huge fan of Mexican food. I never have been. I like it more now than I used to, but it's still not my favorite. Honestly, my favorite food now has just become steak. I'd just rather have steak. I could eat steak and liver and eggs and keto chow, and I'd be fine. Well, I like seafood too. Okay. Now, I've got some pepperoni that I got at the deli at Walmart, and I just got it sliced sort of thin, but I'm just going to put a layer of this. My mother doesn't like pepperoni, but I do, so it's going in there. She eats it anyway. Now, if I had my way, I would be putting mushrooms in this, but my dad hates mushrooms. So, trying to appease the masses. not everybody in the house is keto or carnivore, so I have to, when I make something like this for all of us, I have to make it so that they all can eat it. Okay, now I'm going to put a good layer of this wonderful ricotta mixture. Get back over there. Ironically enough, I have never liked cottage cheese. The only thing that I like cottage cheese in is my sous vide egg bites. And even then, that's iffy. I've kind of gotten tired of those. All right, and then I'm going to put a layer of this cheese. Now, if you really want to go overboard with the cheese, you can put sliced provolone or whatever. I think Joe used sliced provolone, and I have used provolone slices, but I'm just doing it this way to try and tone down some of the cheesiness a little bit. And I'm gonna add another layer of sliced turkey meat. Now, Thanksgiving or whenever we have deep fried turkey, we usually try to have deep fried turkey twice a year. I don't know why we don't have it more, but of course now I'm sort of thankful that we don't, because it is something that we have to fry it in peanut oil, because it is very difficult to get a huge amount. There's no way I could afford a huge amount of avocado oil or a huge amount of beef tallow. And it's not something that I would want to just save beef tallow to do, because I would have to save it for a couple of years. All right. Another layer of meat. This stuff is so good. And we're a family of 6, and honestly, you can feed 12 people with this one pan, because it's so filling that a little goes a long way. So, which is fine, because that way I'll have something else in the fridge in case somebody, if they want pizza or something, then, or if they want fried chicken or whatever, I have something that I can eat. Another layer of pepperoni. Not going to put too much on this layer. Hopefully I'll have some more recipe videos later in this week. I am working on a liver pate recipe. It's using chicken livers. If you don't like liver, that's okay. You don't have to make the recipe. You don't even have to watch the video, but I have chronic anemia, so I have to have as much iron as I can get. I've always been anemic. All right. Yeah, as you can see, there's not much of a layer of that, but that's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to finish sprinkling this cheese on. There's not a whole lot left, so I'm just gonna make sure that's covered. Okay. Now it never fails. This is going to bubble up, so I always recommend putting it on a sheet pan, because if you hate cleaning your oven as much as I do, unless you can get your husband to do it, or somebody else, if you can sucker them into it, but still, put it on a sheet pan. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with foil and bake it in the oven. Hang on for a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I had to check to see if I had the temperature right. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with aluminum foil, and then I am going to bake it for about 35 minutes at 400 degrees. And then the last 5 minutes, and then I'm going to take off the aluminum foil and put it back in the oven at 400 still and let it cook for about 5 more minutes, and that will kind of toast the cheese and make it all pretty. But that's basically it, and I'll show you the finished product when it's done. Alright, so there you have it. That's how I make the Two Crazy Ketos meat lasagna. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. Again, I don't care. And hope you have a wonderful week this next week, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Until next time, stop making excuses and start making progress. Bye.